Let's go. Clap it up. Come on.
Every in the field line, offense line, defense line, access line, hit squad line, and it sound like.
Let's go, fellas.
Hey, we a family, y'all. We a family first, y'all. So let's go out, let's play together, let's work hard, no mistakes. Together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Hi there, everybody. I'm James Bates, and I'd like to wish you a happy Flag Day. No, not that kind. That kind. Because it's the Flag Football World Championship Tour, and we're about to crown a national champion. Over 100 teams have come to beautiful Orlando, Florida, and we've got it down to the best of the best. Speaking of the best, the co-founder of this FFWCT, Travis Burnett. Travis, what makes Battle Orlando so special?
We've got the top teams in the country. You've got a lot of money on the line. You've got bragging rights year-round, representing teams from all over the country. I mean, this is the top dog, so you got to win or you go home.
You got your battle hat on. Let's do it.
That's right.
It's better than us.
The 2018 Flag Football World Championship Tour Battle Orlando East Coast National Championship is brought to you by Smarty Pants Vitamins, a smarter approach to healthier for the whole world. And by Pro Subs, where athletes are built, not born.
Sideline. Going on lip section.
There you go.
Oh yeah, the crowd here in Orlando, Florida sure is pumped up for the next game in our semifinals. It's the 305, the guys from Miami, Florida, your defending national champions, to take on the athletes. Plain and simple, the guys from Boston, Massachusetts. But first things first, what do you say we take a look at our 16-team bracket to find out how we got here? It was a forfeit for the Warhawks from Newport Richey, Florida in round one. That's how 305 advanced. Florida made in bad blood. Two Jacksonville teams in a tight one. Florida made on top. The athletes, there they are, beating FE. Pressure beating the team from Massillon, Ohio, underrated by a score of 40-24. Don't sleep all over the Misfits, 46-12. The Ducks taking down Team Youngblood with a shutout win, 21-0. Sick with it, getting sick with it, 29-6 their win. And another Jacksonville team, Wet and Dirty, with a win over Miami's Tribe, 16-17. So on to the quarterfinals we go, where 305 and Florida played in a shootout, 305 winning that one, of course, They'll take on the Athletes, winning over pressure. Don't Sleep falls to the Ducks, and Sick With It drops to Wet and Dirty. So our semifinal bracket is set up like this. 305 in the Athletes. The winner of that one takes on the winner of the Ducks and Wet and Dirty. All right, y'all set for some semifinal action? Here we go. It was the 305 taking on the 617, or the Athletes, but that's Boston's area code after all. And oomph, getting it started as you would expect anytime you watch the 305 play. Uslet Volsi is the man of this football team, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And Emo, his quarterback, finds him for 1, 2, 3 big hitters, and it's a quick strike for the guys from Miami, thanks to Oomph. And Emo getting up and trying to get it in there for the extra point is Peaky Eddie Guerra. And look at Bonilla, the cornerback from Boston. Can't get it back over to Johnny LaCourte. Would have been 2 points, but it's just 6-0. No extra point there for 305. This double pass is thrown a little bit too long. And so here goes Matt Bailey. Big Matt Bailey, the quarterback for the Athletes. And a nice throw across the field there as he finds Devon Jennings. And to Taylor, Ramonce Taylor, the former Texas Longhorn, takes it into the end zone to tie it up at 6. So extra point coming right back to RT. And it's 7-6, Athletes on top. So back to the 305 now. There's Volsi, drawing the bodies and tries to pitch it off. A good job there. Nice stop by Jarvis Mayweather, as 22 had a couple defenders tied up. So Guerra throws a wobbler. Comes Morales one more time. Morales to the corner. Guess who? Oomph. It's Volsi one more time, and the second touchdown of the day. Can they get some extra points here? No, sir. The long arms of Mayweather knock it down. So it's 12-7. And Taylor is dropped by the former Eastern Illinois linebacker. Elo, as they call him, Eric Laura. Laura with back-to-back stops. And a little bit of pressure on Bailey, and it's intercepted. Tackle, and then the pick for Elo. Laura's got it. So Guerra, a couple pitches to himself, and then tries to get it back across the field. That ball's dead, of course, as it hits the turf. And the flag is pulled there on Oomph. He didn't get in, but Guerra does from close range, and so it's 18-7 here, still in the first half. 305 on top of the Athletes. Emilio Morales, the quarterback, looking for the first extra point, and it won't happen right here. And 69, dude, Johnny LaCourte ripping the flag off of Emo. So on to the second half, and Matt Bailey tried to work some magic here in the second half and bring his Athletes from behind, and trying to chip away with Devon Jennings. Taylor one more time. The white line is the boundary line. The red line means nothing here today in Orlando, and another nice defensive play by Eric Laura. Jennings complaining a little bit, but it'll feel better when it stops hurting. Ramonce Taylor down close to the goal line. So here comes Bailey trying to put some more points on the board, and they'll get it. First points of the second half went to the Athletes. Extra point try, knocked away. So 18-13. Winner goes on to play in the national championship here in the Battle of Orlando. Oh my goodness, how about Bonilla? Bonilla has made some plays on offense here in the semifinal and comes up huge defensively with the pick. Wow. Bailey a chance and can't force it into Taylor. Good defense one more time. So here's Bailey, a little bit of a wobbler, but how about the catch? Perfectly timed for Bonilla. Bonilla, get you some hip there, buddy. Not just doing it defensively, but offensively as well. Maybe that's what the 2 stands for. Both ways. So here comes the extra point try. Bailey with the pressure and no serve. Just like that, the athletes back on top. Can the defending champs come from behind here late? Guerra this time to Oomph. And Oomph says, oh yeah, flag is down, it won't matter. And 3:05, extra point coming, it's good. Athletes couldn't get anything done, and that'll do it. Slap hands, 3:05, a chance to defend that title. They're moving on here in Orlando to the championship game. Question is, will they meet the Ducks or wet and dirty? Let's see what Oomph had to say.
Everybody wants us to lose. Everybody felt like the last one, it was a fluke. We was overrated, so we just came to show everybody that, it wasn't a fluke, man. We just here to come back and claim defend our title.
And with that, we'll step away. Right back to Orlando, Florida, after this.
Because you're not just a single category or function. You're more than energy, more than bones, immunity, healthy hair, skin, and nails. You're all in one, and so are we. Meet Smarty Pants Women's Complete. For every bottle sold, we make a donation to Vitamin Angels to bring life-changing supplements to those in need around the world. Smarty Pants, smart from the inside out.
We are a community united behind common goals. Driven by innovation, passion, and excellence. Together we push the limits and continue to strive for more. It's in you and all of us. USF Tampa.
For the typical athlete, you're used to seeing guys play football. Probably the most interesting dynamic of our entire sport are the women. And they're here, and they can ball. They are absolutely the most fun to watch. They are some of the best, most dynamic athletes, and people don't traditionally think women and then football player. This is gonna change that immediately.
Back here in Orlando for the 2018 Flag Football World Championship Tour, Battle Orlando East Coast National Championship. We already know the defending champs, the 305, is sitting there waiting for a competitor in the final game. Who will it be? Will they meet up with the Ducks from Spring Hill, Florida, or Jacksonville's Wet and Dirty? Well, OG Mike Anderson, the quarterback for Wet and Dirty, answers that in a hurry as he finds Myron Donaldson streaking down the right side of the field. Donaldson letting them all hear it. Extra point try was no good, though. Adams' throw a little bit too high and hard, so we'll stay put right there at 6-0. Daddy Duck, as they call the quarterback for the Ducks, Jack Haley, finds Moss Martino, his receiver number 21, then continuing to chip away, you'll find Damian Diaz, which brings up a 3rd down. Remember, you've got to get it across midfield in 3 tries, and they'll do just that. So, moving those sticks, if you will, a fresh set of downs as here in the first half, the Ducks tried to answer the first strike of Wet and Dirty. Back to Martino, down near the goal line. And with pressure in his face, ball bobbled around, but finally finding the turf. So incomplete And a third down try is complete. Back of the end zone, Jordan Oquendo, and it's tied at 6. Electing to go for 1 on the extra point try. Doing his best, Bernie Kosar, is Jack Haley, but coming up empty. So tied at 6, and Mike Adams right back at it. There's Mark Musgrove. Musgrove has a brother on this team, Chad Musgrove, playing defense, and wow, how about that with a guy draped on his back. Donaldson with another big catch to go deep into the Ducks territory. There's Musgrove one more time. White line is out. He didn't go there, but he went into the end zone, so it's 12-6. Again with the extra point try, and same result. Lucky souvenir for that fan, and Adams is hot. He wants all those points he can get, knows how valuable they are. So back at it, Bobby Rodriguez on the completion from Haley. And with Musgrove in his face, ball is broken up. A nice play on it there by the big man, the former linebacker, Joey Lopes, linebacker at Ed Waters High School back in the day. And how about this completion here? Jordan Oquendo, the beautifully thrown football from Haley to tie it at 12. Finds him in the corner of the end zone. Can anybody get any extra points? No, not going to happen right here. A nice play there by David Smith to bat it away. So tied at 12. It was Adams trying to get it going again. This time it's Sampson. Nifty moves down the sideline, and he'll take it. Deep snap here to Adams. And how about this throw, catch, and then the effort from Daniel Cooper to get it across the line. Remember, though, in flag football, it's not the ball, it's the flag that has to go across. They do, and they also get an extra point for the first time here today, and that'll end the first half. So 19-12, and how about this? The OG Mike Adams stepping out of the back of the end zone on the snap, and that gives the Ducks the safety and 2 points. So it's 19-14. Adams going back to work, this time finding Donaldson over the middle of the field. Musgrove back over to Mike Adams. Adams, who can run it now, will do just that. Look at the big man tiptoe across midfield and then down the sideline before having his flag pulled. So fresh set of downs, thrown behind Cooper, but a good job to adjust and go back and get that one. Wet and Dirty trying to add to that 25-14 lead, and they can't get it done here. So a much needed stop for the Ducks. Down 25-14, and the one-handed interception by David Smith for Wet and Dirty. And late in the second half, Wet and Dirty just kept on coming. There's a nice throw, Daniel Cooper on the receiving end of that Mike Adams pass. And that would do it, 31-14. Wet and Dirty runs away with it and moves on to set up our championship final. The 305, after their win over the Athletes, will take on Wet and Dirty.
You got to stay under control. You got to be able to read the field, and you've got to keep your team, pretty much level-headed. I look forward to this every Saturday, man. This is my NFL, you know what I mean? 43 years old, I come out here, and I love these guys, Wet and Dirty, and man, this is what I love to do every weekend. Flag football, this game is all about your brains and chemistry. If you know what's going on, the chemistry, the brains of everything, it's a pretty easy game. The team we're getting ready to play 305 is a battle. We've been 1A and 1B with them for about the past 2 years. Last time we played them, we beat them in the USFL, and so this is the first time this has been a championship game battle between us two. So y'all are in for a show right now.
Never in a million years would I have dreamed it would have become this fast. And Travis and I have been blessed with the opportunity to kind of see this through. It's been on a level that's never been achieved before. So we just want to keep pushing the frontiers and keep pushing the envelope and see how far we can actually take the sport.
everything we do, we're taking steps towards making everything better, and it's a huge blessing. And we love what we do, and we love that it's gotten to this point. I mean, we're very proud of it. I mean, it's easier after the event's over to step back and kind of take a deep breath and kind of reflect on it and build on it, and that's kind of what we do, and yeah, we love it. We play in our own tournaments a lot of times, and we grew up playing, and that's why we built this, was to be able to enjoy it and go out there and run it and put the people in place to make sure everything's done right, and then we'll go and test our own product, play in the rec leagues, and just have a blast while we're doing it.
How to break free to Bimini. Forget everything you know about paradise and experience something so much more. Your own personal playground. Experience the side of the Bahamas you never thought possible. The unmatched luxury of the new Hilton at Resorts World Bimini. Are you ready to break free?
Because you're not just a single category or function. You're more than energy, more than bones, immunity, healthy hair, skin, and nails. You're all in one, and so are we. Meet Smarty Pants Women's Complete. For every bottle sold, we make a donation to Vitamin Angels to bring life-changing supplements to those in need around the world. Smarty Pants, smart from the inside out.
All right, about to get it on, and of course, here we are in the Sunshine State, Travis Burnett, and we've got two Florida teams going at it, and two pretty good ones, really. And to make it even more interesting, when the 305 and Wet and Dirty get together, it's a battle. Not just Orlando, but a battle of the state of Florida, because we've got South Florida represented with the guys from Miami, and then up in Jacksonville, Wet and Dirty. Duval, as they like to chant.
Duval. Yeah, we've got a lot of teams that came out and participated in this tournament, and it came down to the Florida teams. These teams are no stranger to the national championships and championship games. Each has won their share of big events in the past, and I know they're looking forward to getting this one going as well.
So 2 12-minute halves. And before we get going, what do you say we check in with head official Matt Riemel and give you a good broad stroke on some of the main rules here in flag football?
So in 4-on-4, there are 2 12-minute halves, running clock. In the second half, there is a pro clock at a minute. 3 plays to cross midfield for a first down, 3 plays to score. All possessions start at your own 5-yard line. In your direction, 5 yards prior to midfield and 5 yards prior to the goal line is a no-run zone. The only way the ball would not start at your own 5-yard line would be if the defense intercepted the ball. It would start at the result of the play. In 4-on-4, there is only 1 backwards lateral or throwback per play. The ball can first be handed off and then thrown back. Otherwise, it only can be thrown back once. If the ball is thrown back, anyone from the defense may rush immediately. Downfield, you are allowed to lateral backwards as many times as you like.
Well, thank you, Matt. Obviously, a lot more than that to cover. But you've got the basics. And even though it's a smaller field, Travis, you got a lot of ground to cover, especially when you're looking down the barrel of number 22, the deuce revolver, the problem solver for this 305 squad. Oomph, they like to call him. And that's right where Emo goes, right off the bat, and almost backs his way across midfield. So there's that midfield point. And you've got 3 plays to get past there, 3 downs, and then, of course, once you're past, 3 more to score, or you turn the football over. All drives start from the 5-yard line, with the exception of an interception. And in a game that really seems to be almost like a tennis match, back and forth, very important to hold serve.
Yeah, most of these teams are going to score at every opportunity. It's very rare that you get a defensive stop, so every play is vitally important.
And if you can get one of those stops, It's so key. And at this level, when you get to this, the elite players that'll be here in this 4-on-4 pro tournament here today, you've got guys for the most part that will play one way, that will not go both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these guys, in different tournaments will play offense, the next one they'll play defense, but they carry a big roster. This is a fast pace, a lot of running, and they need subs and backups, and they've got the best athletes they can put out there.
Deck Herrera tried to back his way into the end zone, and it's back to the oldest player on the field, maybe even here in the 4-on-4 tournament, the quarterback running the show, and he's done a heck of a job the last 3 years or so. Emilio Morales, 46-year-old quarterback. Look at him go, and off the chest, and there's your stop. I'm going to say he's out of bounds. I beg your pardon. Wow, dodging a little bit of a bullet. Emo in 305. We've had a lot of funky bounces here in the semifinals and quarterfinals here today, haven't we?
Oh yeah, these guys, these balls, there's no fumbles, so there's a lot of laterals, there's a lot of pitches, and that ball will bounce around, especially on a play like that where you're pitching it at the goal line, and who knows who comes up with it.
As you can tell, that wind is whipping in our mics and on those flags. And Edgar Guerra buying some time. Wow, just dancing around. Joey Lopes was trying to get to him. Finally, in the back of the end zone, he finds his man Uslet Volsi, who led not only that drive, but really leads this team in the offensive charge anyway, and the 305 strikes first.
Is definitely one of the fastest guys in the country. Every play he touches the ball is a highlight reel.
Talking with the quarterback of Florida Made, Josh Fletcher, getting ready for this game. He said 22 is the best flag football player in the world, and watching him, I believe it. Well, the blitz and a little bump in this no contact, no blood, no foul as Emo goes down to the turf, and it is an extra point gain. So you start from the 5 when you go for the extra point, you get 1, and if you back it up to the 12, you have a chance at a 2-point conversion. Defensively, you can score on those extra point tries. You intercept it and run it all the way back. A low ball, but a great job to go down and pluck it off the turf. Looked like that's 13, Daniel Cooper. Speedy receiver here for Wet and Dirty. From the 904, you've got 904, 305. A lot of teams here from 904. 904 actually, if I'm not mistaken, the largest flag football league in the nation. Is that right, Travis?
I believe so. They've got teams from all different formats, all the way up from youth to adult, but their 4-on-4 division especially, that's what they're specializing in.
There's Mark Musgrove. He takes a hit from Jonathan Gilbs, the cornerback, and up near that midfield mark. We've got 3rd down, though, so they've got to make it. Now, inside, looks like that ball's inside that 5-yard cone, so they cannot run it here for a 1st down.
That's correct. And this is a non-contact sport, but sometimes you will have incidental contact like that, and they'll let it go.
All right, going to take a quick break. Right back to sunny Orlando, Florida, after these messages.
Don't play with fire. We learned as children many dangers of fire. Because fire can get out of hand. Fire can be dangerous.
Welcome back to Orlando, Florida. Great day for football action. It's the 4-on-4 National Championship here in the FFWCT. Alongside Travis Burnett, I'm James Bates. The 305 and Wet and Dirty getting after it here in Orlando.
So fresh set of downs. They've got 3 to score now. Big Mike Adams finds the guy that usually this offense runs through, Myron Donaldson, and right back at you. Wet and Dirty comes down and scores.
Lead right, back right. Come on. Right there. Say go.
And we've got a tie ball game. Heck of a throw. A 46-year-old quarterback for 305, Emilio Morales. Mike Adams isn't far behind him at 43 years old. And a gentleman who told me earlier that every Saturday he plays in his Super Bowl, just loves this sport of flag football. And a nice little touch pass in the corner of the end zone for the extra point and tying it up. Myron Donaldson scoring all 7 there. So right back at you, Emilio Morales. And nice in the open field by the big man, Joey Lopes, big linebacker number 9. Big linebacker at Ed Waters College there in Jacksonville. So second down coming up now here in this first half of play, the national championship game of the FFWCT. Oomph across the field. First down. David Smith ripping the flag away. You know, what an interesting guy. He's a fun guy to watch, 22 for the 305. But really an interesting story. He went to Miami Northwestern, one of the best year in, year out, best football programs in the state of Florida. And, you know, it's such a hotbed down there. And so automatically you think, well, he was a heck of a player for the Bulls, but he did not play high school football. Played a couple years at ASA and 1 year in the Canadian League. There's another completion. That one, the guy plays a lot of defense. They call him ELO, Eric Laura, who played at Eastern Illinois with Jimmy Garoppolo. Travis, I know you're a Texas guy, and I know how much pride you Texans take in that high school football. And whereas it may not be quite the same in the Sunshine State on Friday nights, but one place it is, down in the bottom, Miami Northwestern and Jackson, when they get together and play the Soul Bowl, that'll rival any of those big ones across the Lone Star State.
I'm not so sure about that, but I'll take your word for it. Yeah, the Texas boys love flag football. They love tackle football, all kinds of football. I would say Florida and Texas are the 2 biggest hot spots, especially for the 4-on-4 division in flag football. The Texas teams didn't fare so well today. They do have some of the top players playing around as well, but it's pretty much all Florida.
So it's 8-8. Eric Laura, numerically anyway, the snapper to the quarterback, number 8, scores 7-7, tied up and knocked up high and out of play, incomplete. So how about that?
All right, give you a chance to tuck those shirts back in, put those flags back on, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back to Orlando after this.
Housing and accommodations for the Flag Football World Championship Tour crew and staff has been provided by Jeeves, a world of difference.
Because you're not just a single category or function. You're more than energy, more than bones, immunity, healthy hair, skin, and nails. You're all in one, and so are we. Meet Smarty Pants Women's Complete. For every bottle sold, we make a donation to Vitamin Angels to bring life-changing supplements to those in need around the world. Smarty Pants, smart from the inside out.
We are a community united behind common goals. Driven by innovation, passion, and excellence. Together we push the limits and continue to strive for more. It's in you and all of us. USF Tampa.
The 2018 Flag Football World Championship Tour Battle Orlando East Coast National Championship is brought to you by Smarty Pants Vitamins, a smarter approach to healthier for the whole world. And by Pro Subs, where athletes are built, not born.
Welcome back to Orlando and the Flag Football World Championship Tour. The 305 trying to defend the championship.
Everybody bit on that big pump fake. And one play is all it takes there, Travis, to get across midfield.
It is a quick sport. You only need one play most of the time to get into the end zone. Sometimes it just takes two.
That's Ramon Sampson. That's OG to OG there when you talk wet and dirty football. Those guys been there forever. It's the guys that started that team.
It's interesting in four-man when you'll see the play calling, because in a lot of other formats, 5, 7, 8, and 9-man, there's very detailed plays. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it that still exists in four-man, but there's a lot of one-on-one. Go get the ball, beat your man type of mentality when it comes to the sport. Top athletes out there just competing.
There's a rush. Rusher's, of course, 7 yards out. Look at that. Foot in. White is out of bounds. The toe was on the red, but not the white. And another beautiful pass from the quarterback, Mike Adams, to David Smith there in the end zone. So, wet and dirty after the defensive stop. They've got a chance now to go up 7 points here on the defending national champs. Won the Battle of Orlando last year. Beat Florida Made in that championship game last year. Trying to beat another Jacksonville team here today, and yes, now in flag football, it's the flag that has to cross the plane and not the ball. Hollywood Garcia was right there on it, and he says it's a touchdown. We'll talk it over.
Just like real football, sometimes the refs see different things. Sometimes they need someone else to call them off. They huddled together, made the right call.
Yes.
Game on.
Yes. We called it earlier.
So that's why you see earlier in the game down on the other end, you saw Herrera try to back into the end zone. So as long as you back it up across, you don't have to have that ball across. So here comes Emilio slinging, and there's trouble. When 22 gets the ball out in the open field, everybody has to break right now and come down on those vice angles, and that leaves you really vulnerable to the other guys on the pitch.
And that's what you don't see a lot in tackle football is the pitch. It changes everything. It changes your angles. It changes your responsibilities. You can't send everybody to the ball carrier. Everybody has to take a man.
It seems like you throw all those rules out the window, though, when Oomph has his hands on the ball because he's so tough to stop. Looking for him again, trying to get him in the corner! Oh, they give it to him! Touchdown! What a throw and catch!
Vic Hollins, the official on the near sideline, wants to talk it over with Hollywood Garcia, and he may try to overrule this.
Mike Adams trying to help him out.
What do you think? Think they're going to call this off?
My guess would be they would call this off, but I don't know. It looks to me like he may have been bobbling it a little bit. Hollywood had an angle from the back. Vic had an angle down the sideline, which might have been a better view, and they do. They call the catch off, no touchdown. We may have to go slow-mo replay on that one to find out the answers.
Pleading their case. It was a heck of a grab, but just a little too late by Uslet Volsi. Number 22, so right back at it. Morales again, same corner, different result, touchdown. 305 strikes right back.
No question about that one.
And they knew it was coming. That's what you get. That's the one thing in watching here the weekend's activities with the guy they call Oomph. He can beat you short with the quick game, with the pitch game, and then he can also beat you deep. And he's got a quarterback, as we're finding out, the 46-year-old Emo Morales, that can drop it on a dime. To tie it up, they do. Touchdown. Edgar Guerra.
When you've got a guy like sometimes you just got to keep going to the well until the well is dry, and that's a hard guy to stop.
And with that, we'll step away. Right back to Orlando, Florida, after this.
How to break free to Bimini. Forget everything you know about paradise and experience something so much more. Your own personal playground. Experience the side of the Bahamas you never thought possible. The unmatched luxury of the new Hilton at Resorts World Bimini. Are you ready to break free?
Because you're not just a single category or function. You're more than energy, more than bones, immunity, healthy hair, skin, and nails. You're all in one, and so are we. Meet Smarty Pants Women's Complete. For every bottle sold, we make a donation to Vitamin Angels to bring life-changing supplements to those in need around the world. Smarty Pants, smart from the inside out.
Well, we welcome you back here to beautiful Central Florida, just outside of Orlando, the National Championships of Flag Football here in 2018. Expecting a little bit of rain today, but it's holding off. It's bright and shiny today, a little bit windy, but doesn't seem to bother the competitors or all the fans that are lining the boards around this field here in Florida today. The best of the best going at it in our 4-on-4 competition. We move on to the second half now. And with a big stop and a score earlier, it was 3:05 that started the scoring in this game, and we're driving, and in that first half, the stop by Wet and Dirty and a score after, so here a chance for them to keep the lead as we start this.
So what you saw there, they went back to the same play they ran earlier. Same result. He stepped out of bounds short of the first down because they'd rather have 2nd and 1 versus 1st and goal.
Uh-oh. Myron Donaldson was the target, and he didn't like the shove. He got in the back and into the chairs, and you know, who can blame him? Very dangerous. It was from Aaron Mora, and went and gave him a shove back. And the guy that retaliates is always the one that's going to get caught. He's
okay.
Just glad he's okay. Just got to be careful, though, because this offense, just like it's oomph on the other side, it's the Myron Donaldson show a lot of times here for Wet and Dirty. And you can't risk getting ejected from the national championship game. They'll just walk it off. Donaldson stay in there.
Why can't we run? We can run.
Went from 2nd and 1. It's a loss of down on all offensive penalties. So it's going to be 3rd down. Line to gain is midfield.
Say go.
They'll do just that. Got a little interesting for Donaldson, but brings it in nonetheless. And 3 downs to score now for Wet and Dirty, the guys from Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville and Miami. Wet and Dirty in 3:05. Back to Donaldson. Donaldson almost slipped by Edgar Guerra. be second down and goal from about the 10. Making some noise down in that corner for the 305 boys.
Yeah, we've got quite a crowd gathered around. These guys were here to see this championship game, some of the top athletes in the world, and everybody wants to see them put on a show.
Well, congratulations. It's, you know, you got Chuck running along, getting some shots as well for us, and Travis, I mean, this is in a short time, this FFWCT has really come a long ways, and I know you're just getting started, but it's got to feel pretty good for something like this to come together.
Oh yeah, it feels great. It feels amazing. Oh, touchdown. You know, for everything that we put into this to kind of see it all manifest, and you know, the players are excited, and that's the most important thing. We're loving where the direction of the sport is going, and just trying to get it on the right track and continue growing.
That's David Smith on the grab for Wet and Dirty. Extra point for 1. Getting kind of fancy back to Mike Adams. Plenty of time. A flag is down as Donaldson pulls it in. So you have the handoff and the throw back to Adams. So the 5-second rule is out the window.
I think they may be talking about out of the end zone and back in, which would be a penalty.
Hey, boss. Hey, watch him push him out the back end.
Whatever it is, it looks like it is against Wet and Dirty. Mike Adams doesn't seem to be too happy.
Not at all. So what looked to be a 7-point lead, we'll play it over, I guess, now. So still another chance to make it a 7-point lead, but all those points at a premium, not just the touchdowns, but the extra points of equal value, and knocked away. Nice break on the ball. Eric Laura, the former Eastern Illinois player. Now it looks like they're talking about Mike Adams. Do they give him a warning, or do they actually call a penalty here on Mike Adams?
It's hard to say what they're arguing about here. I'm not sure if they were looking at impeding the rusher or what could be the call. He's definitely fighting something, but I don't believe they made any official call, so I think the play will stand as incomplete.
It's an illegal rush, bro. It's our ball.
Being an official at any sport, any level is tough. It seems like it's extra important here. I mean, all the no contact rules and whatnot. And then you got guys giving it to you, like Hollywood Garcia's getting it right here. But you get down to it, and the dust settles after that drive. It is a 6-point lead for Wet and Dirty. Here's Morales. Sling, and the catch is made by Little Jaime Jarquin. You know, it's another guy that didn't play football in high school. Emo Morales went to Hialeah High School down in South Florida and was a shortstop in baseball. And it's funny, had he played even quarterback in high school, he probably still on the baseball diamond would have made more throws the way you throw it sometimes in these short windows, little sidearm sling, if you will. Here he finds oomph, and Volsi has it up near midfield again. They'll stop just shy of that mark, so a chance to get a fresh set of downs. Quarterback from under center. You can't run it there, but the forward pass will take him across midfield as the defenders tried to inch up. Remember now, if you're just joining us, you can rush the quarterback, but you have to do so from 7 yards back. Once you get there, you can't knock the ball out of his hands. You can jump up and bat it down. You can't make contact with him. So here comes the rush from Musgrove and the completion again to Little Jaime. Little Jaime taken out of bounds by David Smith.
We got 2nd and goal here. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to hit something quick just to get him within range. We'll see if they come up with an maybe a drag, something along those lines. They went for it, and what a pick.
He was eyeing Oomph. You weren't the only one looking for him. More importantly, David Smith had his eyes on Oomph, and then back to the quarterback, Emilio Morales. It's an interception, and what a big turnover. A chance after the missed extra point for the 305 to take the lead for the first time in a while, but David Smith says and turns him away. So here one more time comes Wet and Dirty, led by Mike Adams. Wow. One-handed at that.
Yeah, that was a nice interception. You'll see a lot of that out here.
No whistle, and finally bring down Daniel Cooper. You've got players of all ages out here. You've got the adults in the 4-on-4 national championship of the FFWCT, but really enjoyed watching the younger kids and all the way up, the high school age and college, compete here this weekend.
Well, they're the next generation of the sport, not just for flag football, but football in general. It's a sport that's growing all across the United States and the world, really. So it's fun to get out here and compete, and they're competing just like the rest of them.
Musgrove with the catch. Gets it down to about the 6-yard line.
Frank, how much time?
They'll still play a 5-man tournament championship later this afternoon, so all the fans, plenty of action, not just here in our 4-on-4 championship. From that bunch set, Adams to Musgrove, and nice break there by Johnny Gill. My.
Hey, Paul,
too young to get that Johnny Gill joke, but double out there.
Shut up,
Give a little early 90s street cred.
A little before my time.
Yeah, that's all right.
Set go.
3rd and 1.
And touchdown.
It's a play that's pretty common on the goal line. You got a bunch of bodies in there. You can call it a pick route. You can say they're using the other guy's body. It's intentional. It's hard to call. Blocked him out, snuck in there for the touchdown.
Ramon Sampson puts Wet and Dirty up by 7. So here's a chance as they'll line it up from the 5 to make it an 8-point lead here in the second half. Nice throw, nice grab by Chad Musgrove, and it is just that, an 8-point lead for the guys from Duval, Jacksonville, Florida. Emo and company right away trying to get things going, and wow, getting lucky there as Edgar Guerra tried to find on the double throw Uslet Volsi down the field, but the ball hits the turf and they'll come back and play second down.
Got a lot of pressure going on right now. Clock's timing down in the first half, trying to make a big play. The ball just got out of his hands.
That was good, Travis. You must have had your Smarty Pants vitamins this morning. You seem very sharp today.
Of course I did. We've got a lot of sponsors out here that we appreciate coming out and being a part of this event. But we definitely had my hands on a couple of them Smarty Pants vitamins, a couple protein bars from Pro-Sups and everything in between. It
really seems like the perfect venue for a lot of your sponsors. Sponsors like Junk Headgear, and the kids flock to the tents. And you get your freebies and make some sales. Everybody wins.
Yeah, it's a great experience for the players, for the fans, for the sponsors, everybody. You get everybody in one location. They're going to be here all weekend. You know, why not enjoy yourselves? Get to kind of see what we do all across the country. And I know that they're having a great time and been able to interact with a variety of people here from all different walks of life.
A lot of you guys I know taking advantage of this trip to Central Florida. It's all work and then a little bit of play, hitting the parks these next couple days after these championships. But first things first, we got to crown a champion, and what a defensive play. Big break by Daniel Cooper. And the guy with the wheels over there for the Jacksonville squad rips the flag off of Peaky as he looked to throw it down the field. Gets a good stop near the goal line.
That's the ball game.
Congrats, Mike. Yep.
All right, we get rid of one co-founder in Travis and on over to Chuck Davis. Chuck, take it away.
Congratulations to our national champs, 4-on-4 Battle Orlando 2018. Wet and Dirty, here's your national championship. Woo! Even better, $5,000 cash. Here you go, fellas. Congratulations.
Let's go, baby!
Hey,
Oh, listen, 305 had our number for the last couple tournaments. I'm talking about 1-point wins. It's always in the championship. Listen, this one feel real good to get. Listen, man, Duval County all day, Wet and Dirty, stand up, man. Listen, we here.
It felt spectacular. We come out here with one mission and we win this one, and now we're going to go to Indianapolis and we're going to win that one too, baby. Wet and Dirty, we're the best.
You finally got a chance to get the matchup. You guys kept missing each other at all these big tournaments, and you finally got a chance, and you came out on top.
Yeah, we've kept missing each other, and we were talking about it. You know, when they walked on the field, they said, we've been missing y'all, we've been wanting y'all, and, well, they got what they wanted, baby, and we're here. They're all respected 305, the class acts, hell of a team. I love my team a little bit better, though.
And all respect to the quarterback, but really it was the defense that took it over the top for the Wet and Dirty today.
Defense wins championships. I told my defense, if they don't score and we score 6, we win, baby. Defense wins championship. I love each of these guys like they're my blood brothers, and I go to war for them every day of the week.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
Give me one more of those Duval. Give me one more Duval, guys.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Duval!